Adam Chris from MyMMANews.com being joined by James Bubba Mullens. He's taking on Wesley Russum this Saturday, April 2nd. He's defending his Bantamweight title for Stellar Fights for the very first time it's going down. Like I said, this Saturday, April 2nd, Stellar Fights 49. First and foremost, this is a long time in the making. We've been planning this interview for a while. Finally get to do it. How are you, Bubba?
Doing good, man. Yeah, of course. Took a long time, but finally we're doing our interview.
There it is, man. So before we go anywhere, where's the nickname Bubba come from? I mean, you're training with, Semi the Jedi. I'm not sure if he likes it, but, John, the Devastator Del Bruges. Where does Bubba come from?
Bubba is a nickname that I was kind of born with. When I was born, my older brother started calling me Bubba. So my family started calling me it. Then once I got to like kindergarten, elementary school, my teachers were like, "Your name is James." And I was like, "No, my name is Bubba." So I just kept it going. And then later on in life, I've tried to get away from the name, go by James, but eventually everyone just starts to find out that my name is Bubba. So everyone catches on.
So you first burst onto the scene, man, and your illustrious story thus far, short-lived, but again, illustrious. Your first fight, 10 seconds in, you got it done with, a fantastic camp behind you. So before we get into anything, why did you start? I like hearing people's story of why they get into this crazy sport. Why did you start combat sports?
Well, I had wrestling background. I wrestled since kindergarten till high school. And then after that, I was sick of wrestling. I stopped training, stopped doing all kinds of physical activity. And then 7 years later, one day I just decided that I wanted to be an MMA fighter. I thought that with my wrestling background and just the skills that I have, that I could do pretty good at it. So I just got right into it.
Makes sense. Now, when you have to resort back to your wrestling ways now, when you're in camp and whatnot, do you still hate it as much?
Um, I don't know. I definitely use my wrestling. I enjoy wrestling, but I like punching a little bit more. So I try to stick with that. But wrestling always helps when you got it in the back pocket.
Hey, I can't blame you there. So where you're training out of, Crazy 88, you got Semi, who's doing huge things for Maryland MMA. You got Hicks, you got Sebastian, Lewis, Del Bruges. I know I'm missing so many others, JJ. But again, the caliber of partners that you guys have, does it help accelerate your skill set? Like I said, the minimal time frame, you started in 2019, it's 2022. You haven't had a long time in this game, but here you are getting ready to defend your amateur title. You've made it thus far in a short amount of time. Does training with those people accelerate it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I always thought that I would be a great fighter, but 100% Crazy 88 has taught me so many different things, whether it's striking with Sebastian or grappling with Gel Bruges. But even our jiu-jitsu room is full of world champions and just a lot of elite, pure jiu-jitsu people. So they definitely 100% push me every day and have made me the fighter that I am.
And I love that crew of guys. Every time I get a chance to talk to them, just a great, great room of dudes to be around. So I can understand why you would want to train there, not only for the skill set, but just the personalities that they carry and the people that they are. But so I know a little bit about this next question. I know you guys just promoted a little guy. I saw you in the picture right before this interview. I was going to ask, what do you do when you're not training? What does Bubba do when he's not beating folks up?
There's really no off time, honestly. We're always training.
So no going home, no playing the new games, no nothing. You're just it's all 100%. Even as an amateur fighter, you have that pro mindset.
Yeah. So before I started fighting, I was roofing. And once I told Sebastian I want to be a pro fighter, he said, "You got to be training twice a day." So I ended up quitting roofing. And then I luckily got a job coaching at Crazy 88, our Owens Mills location. So yeah, I'm training twice a day now, 6 days a week, coaching on Saturdays. That's my one day off of training. But so every day I'm pretty much at the gym.
Does it ever get tiresome? That's a rough life to live every single day, grinding in every day, every doubt, every day in and out, constantly with combat sports on your mind. Does it ever get tiring?
Honestly, not really for me. With my background in roofing, that was like hard work, and that was miserable hard work. I hated it. You know, being on a roof every day, it was rough, the weather, everything else. So going to the gym is kind of easy. You know, going to the gym for 2 hours beats being on a roof for 8 hours.
Now, I got to ask, when, down the road, owning your own house, everything like that, if you ever need roofing done to your own house, does having that in the back pocket help out?
Yes, actually, I used to work for my uncle, and my
Yeah.
uncle owns the roofing company. So yeah, he does everyone's roofs, all of our family and anybody, friends, family. He hooks it up. So
Nice.
always know that I got a roofer to call.
A roofer with a roof over your head. I love it, man. So let's get into the bout. Like I said, you're taking on Wesley Russell. You both share a common opponent, but what do you know about him as your upcoming opponent?
So I was actually scheduled to fight him before COVID or during COVID. So when COVID was happening, Brad kept trying to put fights on, and I think I was scheduled to fight Lumison first, and that fight got canceled because of COVID. And then Brad was trying to put on another event like 3 months into COVID, and it was actually Wesley Russell. So I watched a lot of his videos, saw how he fought. I think he's a tough guy, but like you said, I think he's taken 2 years off. I know he's switched gyms and he's at a new gym now in Missouri, but I don't know. I think that, I think I'm an all around better fighter than him for sure.
And going forward with that, I was going to say, like you just mentioned, 2 years off. It's been since 2020 since he's actually competed. Are you anticipating ring rust at all?
No, I don't think he'll have ring rust. I know that he has switched gyms, so I think he's in a better gym. I think that might be a reason. I think that might be a reason why he's taking the time off, because I think his new gym wanted to get him trained under them for a little bit before he went into a new fight. So I think he's definitely going to be better than he was 2 years ago.
Got it. Now, like I said, he's a strong kid, good power, solid wrestling. Obviously, you're no slouch in the wrestling department yourself. You have years behind it. And you're definitely the champ for a reason, man. So without giving too much away, how do you assess a fight with somebody like Wes?
I mean, honestly, I think it's going to go a lot like my last fight. I think on the feet, he's going to realize that he needs to take the shot. I think he's going to shoot in, and then it's just going to be a lot of grappling.
Now, flip side of that question, do you have a prediction at all? Do you think you'll be able to stop him?
I mean, I think I can stop anybody. I think I can stop him, but if he's tough enough to survive, then we'll go all 5 rounds. So whatever he wants to do, I'm ready to do.
Going off your last fight, handing Giles his first loss, obviously, he was 2-0 going into the bout. Does that put any extra motivation in your back pocket, knowing that you've been more active?
Not really. I think Eric Giles is a tough guy as well, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to go pro. So I'm trying to fight as much as I can now so that my pro career starts sooner.
Right. And that was going to be my following question was, this is going to be 2 bouts in 4 months. How active are you looking to stay this year?
Probably at least get 2 more MMA fights, but then I'm going to stay doing jiu-jitsu tournaments. Maybe if there's a Muay Thai fight in the mix, throw that in. I'm just trying to stay as active as possible. And 2023 looks like the year I'll probably be going pro.
2023, we're going to get to see Bubba in that pro stage, man. So you're going to be defending your strap this Saturday night. Again, you don't have necessarily the boldest prediction as far as, you want to let it go wherever it goes. But when can we expect to see you next? And do you have a name after you get past Wes Russum?
No, I know that Fight World, John Del Bruges is the matchmaker. So they're talking about how they want to put me on that card. We don't know who we're going to fight, but I'm just trying to stay active. So if something comes up, I'm taking the chance and just going to keep fighting whoever comes my way.
Understandable. Stay as active as possible and take them and knock them down as they come. So final stanza, brother. Sponsors and how can fans keep up with you? It's a social media world. There's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. There's so much. Floor's yours. I don't know what you have, but let them know.
All right. Sponsors. I got John's Fit Meals. That's our buddy Shane, who trains with us at Crazy 88. He does all of our meal prepping and stuff. Food is great. Definitely a easy way to get your healthy food in, sent straight to your doorstep. So John's Fit Meals. Who else do I got? I got my buddies. They run Hoops of Love. They're a nonprofit out of like Baltimore, DC area, where they're helping out inner city kids, taking kids to like basketball games, giving them basketball hoops down in the city so they can play basketball, stick with sports and stuff, but also throwing like little parties and different activities for them. And then that's about it. We can shout out my old job, PJ McTavish Roofing and Company. That's my uncle's roofing company, best roofers in the DC area. And then social media, you can follow me on Instagram at bub_decor. And that's all I use, Instagram.
Awesome. Well, Bubba, I look forward to announcing your name screaming from the top of the hilltops like I usually do this Saturday evening. And I can't wait to get to see you back in action this weekend. Oh, my gosh. I look forward to it. Main event this weekend, stellar fights. Bubba, I appreciate your time.
Adam, thank you so much for what you do.
It's my pleasure, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. Can't wait to see your fight. And there he goes, ladies and gentlemen. James Bubba Mullens. He is getting ready to defend his strap at Stellar Fights this weekend. He's taking on Wes Russum in the main event. You don't want to miss this fight. You never want to miss my man James Mullens' fight. He brings it every time. Great camp, great guys, all around great people. You don't want to miss it. Stellar Fights this weekend. Be there. For James Mullens, I'm Adam Christ. Keep it locked to MyMMANews.com for all your fight news needs.